Today we're discussing another weird Batman comic, and this time the book is called Damian, Son of Batman. If there are any new comic book fans watching, I'll give some context. Damian Wayne is the son of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul. Damian eventually became Robin. This story takes place in an alternate future, so it's not exactly canon. The story starts at the docks where Batman and Robin are investigating a huge amount of Joker fish and bodies. This is definitely Damian as Robin, as you can see from this Tim joke. Batman and Robin just refer to each other with their superhero names. Batman finds a Joker fish and it explodes in his hand, killing him. Damian decides to go back to the League of Assassins. I assume this book was written for new readers to understand since they briefly explain Damian's origin. Damian is there to ask for help, but Ross suggests he needs to become the new Batman. Once he returned to Gotham, he tried finding Batman's killer. Lots of other villains took accountability and said they had killed him, so it is implied that Damian goes out to kill those criminals. Next, we see Damian in one of those confession closets in a church, talking to a priest and asking if his actions are a sin or considered saving a soul. The priest says that his actions make him the same as who he's fighting against. Damian says that Batman was a crusader and that he's no different. He just uses more brutal means, but they are at least permanent. Once he's home again, Alfred gives him a similar lecture, which reveals that Damian feels responsible for Batman's death. Damian is determined to find and kill the Joker, and while getting ready for patrol, Bruce Wayne enters the Batcave? This is where I got confused. The book is titled Damian, Son of Batman. Since he is the son of Bruce Wayne, I assumed that Bruce Wayne was Batman. But these are comics, so I just assumed that maybe Bruce just came back or he wasn't really dead, so I continued reading. Bruce is mad at Damian for killing his enemies and they get in a fight. During this fight, it is revealed that Dick Grayson was Batman. Let me pause again because I was bamboozled. Nowhere in this book was it implied that Dick Grayson was Batman. Heck, the title of this book is, once again, Damian, Son of Batman. Even the back of the book says, set in a mysterious future where the Batman falls, but his son survives. All of this quite literally implies that Bruce would be Batman, since Damian is his son and therefore the son of Batman. I don't want to nitpick, but this definitely kind of took me out of the story for a bit. But it's fine, we're not even halfway through the story, so I'll just continue. Robin and Bruce continue fighting until Bruce says he sanctions Damian as Batman and that he isn't his heir anymore. This makes Damian mad and he hurts Bruce. Alfred intervenes and helps Bruce out while sending Damian away. He goes back to confession to vent. The priest motivates him to become a better Batman. Damian wants to give it a shot, so he creates his own batsuit and apologizes to an unconscious Bruce Wayne. On his path to find the Joker, he finds out Professor Pig was involved. He confronts Pig and suddenly Damian is so disgusted by murder. Suddenly, like he was not doing the same thing like a day ago, but okay. Damian is hurt, so he jumps out of a window and ends up in the disgusting Gotham River. Luckily, Alfred is there to save him. Damian was hurt really badly, possibly suffering from brain damage. While Alfred patches him up, he says he feels tired and old and then he dies. Damian wakes up to his cat telling him that Pig is still at it with the Dolatrons. And yes, you heard that correctly, his cat. Damian does question why the cat can talk and why it sounds like Alfred, but we don't get an answer. He goes out as Batman again to fight the henchmen, or hench animals, of Pig. He even admits that he would have killed them before, but won't now because it doesn't fit his moral code. Damian goes back to the priest to say he went out as Batman but didn't kill. The priest then mentions the Joker, which Damian never told him. So, something is going on. Damian goes back to the Batcave to vent to Cat Alfred about his worries whether or not Bruce would be able to forgive him. He then once again gets surprised by the fact that he's talking to a cat, but then just continues talking. If he has brain damage, it could be a delusion or hallucination, but it's never really clarified if he even has brain damage at all. Anyway, Damian goes to check up on Bruce, only to find a Joker card on his empty pillow. All clues lead him to the docks where Dick Grayson Batman died. He finds Bruce and the Joker, but it's not the Joker, just a Joker who was inspired by the Joker. Joker's goons and Damian fight, and suddenly Damian feels the need to kill again, and he smashes in a hench ape's head, but then he stops because he actually doesn't need or want to kill. Until Joker threatens Bruce, then Damian still wants to kill. He attempts to murder Joker, but fails until the real Joker pops up and is like, "I'm back!" Damian heads back to the Batcave, and Cat Alfred notifies him about the rising crime in Gotham. He and Damian are also convinced Dick's killer is still out there and that fake Joker wasn't the only one involved. This makes Damian want to continue as Batman. And this is where the story ends. When it comes to art style or dialogue, this was a pretty good book. I have no criticism on that part. Andy Kubert was both a writer and artist, so hats off to him because I can imagine that is a ton of work. However, the story itself is just weird. I already talked about the title not being really relevant because Damian is the son of Bruce, who's not even Batman here. I'm aware Damian was first the Robin to Dick Grayson's Batman, but this is set in an alternate universe or alternate timeline. And again, the title. Anyway, then we have Alfred randomly dying out of nowhere. And then the cat who suddenly talks. There are moments where Damian questions this, but they never explain it. Is it brain damage? Did Alfred's soul get put into this cat? We don't know. The priest storyline was also never explained. Why did Damian go to church so often? How did the priest know who Damian and Bruce are? How did the priest know about the Joker? We don't know. Maybe the priest was the fake Joker. God knows. Damian's morals also change every other minute. I assume that as Robin he just followed Batman's moral code. But then he switches to a killer, which I also understand because he was trained as an assassin. But then he quickly changes his mind and just decides to not kill at all. And then in the final fight, he doesn't want to kill, and then he does, but then he doesn't. It changes really quickly. I promise next time I will talk about a comic I actually love. But for the time being, if you want to listen or hear about one of the worst Batman stories, then this video is for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!